So jumping right in this video today, we're going to discuss the very big difference between when someone is experiencing silence from an avoidant taking space and when someone is experiencing silence from a person with narcissistic personality disorder or a person who is narcissistic. Now, the first important thing that I want to get out here is that an avoidant falling silent and taking space and a narcissist using the silent treatment are two entirely different things. They don't have the same intentions as one another, and very, very different things are at play beneath the surface. Insecure attachment styles and personality disorders are two totally different things. And more avoidant attachment styles actually are less likely to have narcissistic personality disorder. Speaking from an attachment theory point of view, people with narcissistic personality disorder are not usually without an anxious side. So they are either going to be anxious preoccupied with a strong secondary fearful avoidant attachment style, or they are going to be a very anxious leaning fearful avoidant. People with narcissistic personality disorder are going to have that anxious side. They need other people for narcissistic supply, and they are seeking reactions and attention and validation. It goes without saying, but extremely important to say anyway. Obviously, just because someone has an anxious preoccupied attachment style with a secondary fearful avoidant attachment style, or a very anxious leaning fearful avoidant attachment style, does not mean they have narcissistic personality disorder or that they are anywhere near narcissistic in the least. Another important thing to note is that you obviously have fearful avoidance that will have that avoidant silence or take space along with dismissive avoidance, and it is not a form of narcissistic manipulation. Now, all of that being said, this video is deep diving into an avoidance strategy versus a manipulative strategy. And we are going to discuss the nitty-gritty of exactly what is going on in both of these incredibly different scenarios and also important points and what clues to look out for and key differences to recognize what is going on. Well, if you're new here, my name is Sarah Whaling and I'm a certified coach. Before I got my certifications, I healed my own trauma and attachment style, which was fearful avoidant. I combine my personal experience and education with what actually works to help my clients heal, incorporating the subconscious and unconscious mind, which is how we truly heal. If you're interested in obtaining that extra or ongoing assistance with any of the topics that I discuss in my videos, please visit my website and send me a detailed message on the contact page, and you'll receive a follow-up and my session information. So we've all at least heard about the silent treatment, if not experienced it ourselves. And if you've been in a situation in which someone has given you the silent treatment and you felt that it was frustrating, confusing, and painful, then it probably won't surprise you that it can often be used as a form of emotional abuse. I'm going to give the definition of the silent treatment real quick. Silent treatment, an act of completely ignoring a person or thing by being silent, especially as a means of expressing contempt or disapproval. Now, it is important to note that not everyone who has ever given the silent treatment is narcissistic or has narcissistic personality disorder. Sometimes this behavior is a byproduct of someone who feels completely disempowered to communicate that they're hurt or upset about something, and this is a person that lacks conflict skills. It's important to remember that this could be coming from a more innocent place than that of how someone with NPD or someone who is narcissistic would be employing it. That being said, the silent treatment can also be specifically used to punish someone or to manipulate them. With someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, the silent treatment often follows non-compliance with something that the narcissistic person wanted. Or it can be that you've made a healthy move in the right direction, such as setting a boundary with the narcissistic individual. If you are healing and making healthy changes for yourself, you can expect a plethora of manipulation tactics from a narcissist, and this is a common one. Inside the mind of a narcissistic person, they're hoping that you're suffering. They're hoping to gain control over you, and they want the payoff of negative narcissistic supply, which can look like you begging and pleading for communication or just seeming miserable. The main goal of the silent treatment in the context of this going on with a narcissist is to gain or maintain power and control over you. It is specifically about affecting your behavior to gain what they want from you. Silence from an avoidant because they're taking space is not the silent treatment. When an avoidant is silent due to the need for taking space, they are not trying to get a reaction from someone. They are trying to fulfill a need that is deeply ingrained in them to take space for themselves. An avoidant actually wants the opposite of what a narcissist would want in this scenario. The avoidant doesn't really want a reaction and may be triggered by a reaction to them tending to a need that they have. So, important point number one is the polar opposite difference that the narcissist wants a reaction from the silence, aka silent treatment. An avoidant does not want a reaction from the silence, aka taking space. Important point number two, a narcissist wants to cause you harm. They have malicious intentions. An avoidant absolutely does not want to hurt anyone by taking space. Space to them is either a need that they have or a trauma response. Again, with the narcissist, it is a manipulation tactic and a punishment. A narcissist wants your negative emotions as narcissistic supply. An avoidant taking space absolutely doesn't want someone having negative emotions about it. These two scenarios actually can feel distinctly different if you are the partner of a narcissist versus a partner of an avoidant. Point number three, pay attention to when it happens. Some narcissists love to cut you off in the middle of setting an important boundary and make you pay. Sometimes a narcissist will employ the silent treatment if you've made positive changes for yourself that directly affect the benefits that they've been reaping from you. Sometimes a narcissist will begin the silent treatment as a way of handling any conflict that you ever have with them because you must be agreeable at all times. While avoidance will also take space sometimes after conflict, they aren't going to be habitually bothered by your healthy boundaries. And they will also need space at times after too much closeness and when things are going great, and then at times when nothing is going on at all. Well, I hope that this video was helpful in getting to what is beneath the surface in these two very different scenarios. If you've experienced any of this, comment below. And if this video was helpful, please like and share and subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss any future content. Thank you so much for your engagement. Take care.